welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org. Consequence and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thanks as always for making your way here, for checking out the episode. Hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with the entire series. I do 3 new interviews every single week, sometimes 4, but a new one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's a great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover those new ones. You can grab us any of the usual spots, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, NPR, WFPK.org, Consequence, or of course, right here on YouTube for the video version. Anywhere you get your podcast from, subscribe to Kyle Meredith with. And that's me, Kyle Meredith, today talking with Sebastian Bach. He has got a brand new solo album called Child Within a Man. The Skid Row lead singer, it's been about 10 years since he's released a solo record. So we're going to talk about, what's the weights and what he wanted to accomplish with this album. I mean, the guy's been making music for, 35, almost 40 years now. So what does it mean to make new music? And what does it mean to serve your audience? He's got a classic sound. People associate with Sebastian Bach and that Skid Row sound. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of what the songs are about. From climate change and Greta Thunberg, giving some inspiration, lending some inspiration to some of these songs, to so much more. We're going to talk about the sound. We're going to talk about cover songs. It's such a fun conversation, so let's dive right into it. The new album is called Child Within a Man. It's Kyle Meredith with Sebastian Bach. I'm going to launch right into it. Child Within a Man. It's so great to have new music from you again, especially I know it's a decade since Give 'Em Hell. We'll start with the easy thing. What prompted this one? Why was it finally time for new music?
Well, why was it finally time? Well, the answer to that is it was finally time for new music because the pandemic was over. That's the reason.
That's
Nobody was putting out albums in 2020. And I know that's the first line of my press release. So everybody asked me that, but you can't really count 2 or 3 of those years. But, and there was a lot of business reasons. Like I was signed to one record company and then that contract ran out. I got signed to another and then that morphed into this company and that, and it's kind of boring answer, but it was, the end result is that this is the first solo album I've ever put out where I have like a international team of people that are helping me with the album. And that's a really wonderful, fantastic feeling as an artist to have a team of people helping you out.
Right. I can imagine. Yeah. Well, and you said a lot of people are asking is, I guess where my angle I was coming from too is because if you're an artist who's lucky enough to have a career, to have that longevity, to have an archive behind you, the hits and everything, it would seem to me you do get to a point where you can ask yourself, like, how important is the new music?
I mean, my answer to that has always been like, how important is the new music? In 89, we weren't doing songs from 69. Mm-hmm. We were in 89, we were doing songs that we just came up with. Yeah. And that's what people dug. We weren't playing 30-year-old songs in 89. Like, so I don't understand that. Maybe other musicians think like that, but I'm doing the same thing that I did in 1989, which is put out a new album and go on tour. That's what I did then. I wasn't playing 35-year-old songs only. I am playing both those, but I'm doing all my new songs that I can. But to be honest, that's going to take some rehearsal because we know how to play those old ones, but some of these tunes are very intricate and they will take rehearsal. So
yeah. Well, I'm happy that you're making the new music too, because it's such a strong album.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because you have that legacy, and all of those old songs behind you. And I feel like, for the fans that have been there for a long time, like, how much do you consider, what's the line? Give the people what they want, so you've got the now, and then you've got, like, I don't know what people expect from it, because there's so many different sounds on this, but there are a few moments here that kind of harken back. Maybe that's natural.
Yeah, well, the sound of my voice harkens back.
Sure.
I mean, if I was, I was going to be the singer of Velvet Revolver before Scott Weiland. You can Google interviews with Duff,
Hmm.
and he'll tell you we wanted Sebastian, but the problem with Sebastian is that you just think of Skid Row and you hear his voice. And I didn't take that as an insult because it's true. Like that's the way it is. But give them what? Oh, do you give them what they want? I don't think the audience knows what they want. I give the audience what I want. I and I'm a son of a bitch getting stuff the way I want to get it. And for What Do I Got to Lose, the first song and video, I wanted fun. I wanted FUN. I wanted videos, a video like Whitesnake or Van Halen or Rat, where Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee are play the cops and Bobby Blotzer arrests them and throws them in jail. Like that's to me fun. I want to put a smile on people's face when everything is so fucking miserable. I want people to laugh and have fun. And that's what I want. Even the second video, which is a tough subject because I wrote it about losing my home in a hurricane and the record companies, but we want a video. And I was like, that's not very fun. So, but I turned it around and I made it about the Maxell tape commercial, which is fun. And then the end, I'm watching all the footage of my house being destroyed and climate change. And I turn off the news and I put on my new record and start rocking out. And so that's still fun. It's my mission to bring back the fun of rock and roll, which I find sorely lacking. I can't find fun on the internet. No matter how hard I try, I can't find it. It's all negative fighting. This guy said this about this guy. That's not rock. That's rock is supposed to be coming together. And that's what it always was before it all, went to the internet. And now it's all clickbait and fighting and bickering. And so I'm trying to just bring back the fun. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do.
No, it's actually noticeable. I've talked to some people about that too, about how, I mean, to repeat you, the fun isn't there. Like even to the point where it's not to say there aren't great rock songs, and I think there are, and there always are, but it's like I even miss the novelty songs that used to be around that I used to roll my eyes at, and now I'm like,
Right.
what happened to that fun?
Yeah,
It's
what?
like,
Well, I mean, to really get into it, the guitar player Steve Lukather
Mhm.
did a Instagram video recently that just hit me right in the face. And I've said the same things. Musicians don't jam anymore. There's no more
Right.
jamming. You know what we used to do in '89? We would drink a fucking case of beer and get fucked up and fucking jam for hours. And we didn't give a shit if
Yeah.
we were good or not. We were having fun
Hmm.
jamming. Guess what? Guess who does that now? No one. Because everybody is fucking filming everything and putting it on TV. And Steve Lucas is like, well, wait a minute, is this going to be on the video tomorrow morning? And he's like, nobody wants to wake up in the morning and read, you suck. Like, nobody wants to read that. So, guess what? I'm not jamming tonight. You can fucking jam. I'm going to sit here and watch you jam and enjoy a glass of wine because I'm not waking up tomorrow morning and watching this on the fucking TV. Like, it's crazy. How sad is that?
It
And
is
that's
sad.
not me saying that. That's one of
Hmm.
the top guitar players on the planet Earth.
Right.
And he's 100% on accurate that nobody wants to wake up in the morning and watch them jamming at a birthday party. But guess what? That was fucking fantastic. That was so much fun that
Mm.
we're not allowed to have anymore. Well, I need to bring some of that back. Thank you very much.
Please bring that back. It's the same thing with I'm getting off track here. Like with award shows, that's my complaint. Is like when they took the rock categories off the air,
Oh,
they lost the fun of all the award shows. That was the danger.
yeah.
That was the razor's edge right there. Like, what are these
Yeah.
guys gonna do? It's
Well, I see your Depeche Mode in the back, and I love Depeche Mode because they're a dark band that gets on stage. They look incredible. They deliver a top level show with great songs, but they're not relying just on the old days. It's a new show,
Right.
new music, and David Gahan is an incredible frontman, and there's a way to do this. There's you look at Willie Nelson and Neil Young. These guys are 91. Like that's gonna be me, brother. You're gonna be interviewing me, Kyle, with my long hair and my joint, and when I'm in my fucking tour bus and I'm 91.
I sure hope so. Now, when you like hello, I'm sorry, hello, dark, Hard Darkness. To
Wow.
get your voice to that style and sound, I sure hope you can still do that at 91 because it's one of my favorite moments of the record.
That's what the exact thing that the last guy said.
Really?
Hard Darkness.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I'll tell
fun.
you what I told him. I wrote that in the pandemic. I was lucky enough to be trapped in my house that I had acres of woods. I had the woods to walk around on, and um, Devin Bronson sent me that riff, and it reminded me of something like off a Halford fight record. I go, we're definitely doing this, and I couldn't think of anything. And so I was like, okay. And I took it out in the backyard, and it was 4 a.m. And I was walking around with a bottle of red wine in the woods under the light of the moon. And I had been trapped in the house for 9 months or whatever it was. And I just wrote about how I was feeling and where I was at. And it's under the light of the moon, and I achieved my solace, and I was in a hard darkness. That's where we all were.
Mhm.
And you can feel that in that
Mhm.
song. Like
Yeah.
I'm out in the fucking woods with a bottle of wine, looking up at the moon, trying to get out of this hard darkness. And that harkens back also to my and respect of Rob Halford as a lyricist. To me, he always wrote words that sounded like the riffs that he was writing to, like a song like Desert Plains,
Mhm.
or Solar Angels. Like Desert Plains, he sounds like he's riding a motorbike on the desert plains. And to me, Hard Darkness sounds exactly like a hard darkness. So I'm glad you dig it.
Yeah. Well, especially just hearing like, you still tap in somehow to that same energy that I would have felt from you in 1989.
Wow,
That's
man.
that's what's impressive. I mean, the song by the way is great, but I find that impressive in itself.
Thank you very much, man. Well, I credit that also to the producer, Elvis Basquet, who had the vision to do a record with me. And after I heard what he did with Wolfgang Van Halen, the song Distance, I dropped me to my knees. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
And he recorded this on a 1974 Neve console that Queen used to record
Oh yeah.
on. And you can hear that analog quality. And then just to blow my own mind, the album was mastered by Robert Ludwig, who did Led Zeppelin 2 in 19 like what the fuck? I go, how's that guy still doing this? Well, he doesn't anymore. But what he was in his 80s when he did this record, and now since then he has retired,
Wow.
and this is one of the last albums in the catalog of Robert Ludwig, my favorite mastering engineer of all time. I'm a vinyl collector,
Mhm.
and every vinyl collector knows who that guy is. So you can hear that. You can hear, I can hear it. I can hear it. It's not a compressed auto tune sound. It's
Right.
it's it's a fucking dirty rock,
Mhm.
real old kind of feel and sound. And I credit that to Elvis, the producer, and the mastering engineer as well.
Yeah, you do. You really feel it. I'm looking at the track list here too, and just thinking about some of those moments and Everybody Bleeds and Future Youth and Hold On to the Dream, which
Oh,
Hold On to the Dream and FU, I mean, kind of feels very much like you're calling somebody out. I don't know if it's specific, but it feels like maybe there's
well,
somebody at the
yeah. Uh-huh. I'm not gonna tell you who, but
yeah. It's
I just shot 2 new videos last week. One of them is for Hold On to the Dream. I don't know if I should say that. You're the first person I told that, but that song to me is the heaviest song I've ever put out in my career. To me, it is because of the sweet, beautiful intro, and then where it goes really quick. It's fucking like that. That song is my homage to the classic metal of the 70s, like Sabbath and Priest and Saxon and Maiden. That's what that song is to me. It's an homage to some of my favorite songs of that style, where it's a quiet intro and then it fucking kicks your ass so hard and you don't see it coming. And boy, does it ever come.
Well, if that's the homage to the, you know, to the heroes of the past, and this isn't a completely perfect seg here, but you know, taking that line from Everybody Bleeds when you talk about a generation selling out, I'm gonna assume that we're not talking about that generation.
No. I'm a dad. I'm a dad, and I'm 24 hours a day. I'm haunted by what are we leaving behind for our kids. It's I love rock, I love fun, but not everything's fucking fun in 2024. And I'm constantly haunted by what is this world going to be like when my daughter is 50. Like the climate, the state of things, you know, without me getting too crazy in this interview, but that's what that song's about. And we all bleed. You know, maybe there's too many guns around. Like, not, I mean, I know I'm crazy, but we all fucking bleed and we all burn in fires and we all drown in hurricanes and floods. And I lost my own home in Jersey in Hurricane Irene. And then I moved to California and I got evacuated 2 years out of 3 for fires. And when I grew up, Las Vegas was supposed to be extreme weather. This is the safest fucking place I've ever lived. So I don't know what's going on, but this is the place where I found safety, knock on wood.
Right.
But that's what that song's about. And you know, I gotta tell you, I never said this yet, but I don't give a shit. The song, a child who speaks but won't give in, that is written to Greta Thunberg. It is. That's who I fucking wrote that to. And I she's taking the bull by the horns, and she doesn't want to live on a planet that's not uninhabitable. And that's who I wrote that to. So if that pisses people off, it's good to piss some people off.
I do love that. Hey, listen, I'm in Kentucky and lost a house to a flood. That's not
Well,
where
there you go.
lose a house. Like, and it is, and it's completely due to climate change. Like, it's completely due to climate change around here.
Yes. Thank you for fucking. I mean, we're all idiots if we don't think that. Like, we're stupid. Like, give me a break. Don't talk to me or Kyle about fucking climate change when we lost our fucking house. Don't talk to us about that, right? Like, you know, did you get told this? Oh, that's 100-year storm. Oh, that's not going to happen again for 100 years. The very next year, Hurricane Irene, which was an even bigger storm. So it wasn't 100-year storm. It was a 1-year storm.
Yeah, we had it was kind of like the 100 years flood from the Ohio River, and it started happening every single year. Not even just like few years, every single year after that one. So
can I even say this? I've never said this in an interview. Do you want to know? I mean, I don't. You do know. The thing that blew my mind was when my house got knocked off the foundation from the flood, and it became uninhabitable with a police caution yellow tape around the motherfucking house so nobody could enter, even though I did anyways because all my shit was in there. But it was uninhabitable. I still had to pay mortgage.
Yeah, same.
The full mortgage. Wow. I had to get a new house. Who has the fucking money to pay for 2? Oh, this is the one I live in, and here's the one that's uninhabitable by humans. But I still, and that ruined my credit. It still is at the top house mortgage, uninhabitable, foreclosure. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, no shit. I'm gonna write a song about that. It's like, how do you even survive that? Like, I mean, I've never even said that, but that'll make anybody fucking crazy.
Right.
Paying mortgage every month on a house that you're not allowed to go inside of. Like, who can afford that? I mean, that's messed up. That is messed up.
Yeah.
God,
No, I had to sue the city. I had to sue FEMA, the whole thing. I get it. I completely understand where you're
it's
coming
not
from
your
on that.
fault.
So, no,
like,
no.
it's nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, what a, but that's the video. That's
Yeah.
so I guess it is
Well,
okay.
I so appreciate that song even more now. I mean, I liked it to begin with, but I really do
Well,
appreciate
have you seen the video?
I haven't seen the video yet.
Oh
No.
my
I
God. The
will.
video has footage of my fucking house being
Yeah.
destroyed.
I'll see the
You
video.
gotta see it.
I will actually watch that video right after this. I want to.
Yes, please do. You're gonna flip out.
Yeah.
You're gonna freak out, man.
And I want
It's
to
not my
also.
video, it's your video too.
It
It's
is my
yours.
video, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me also say though, on the lighter side of things, congratulations though. What do I get to lose? Your most successful song. I think,
By
25 years
far.
and what that's been doing. That's so great to
Oh.
see. And I'm so excited to see this out on tour, to hear these songs on tour. Are you because you do some covers too? Are you bringing any, like you did the Masked Singer and that stuff? And
Yeah.
like, do you find that you're going to bring any of that stuff out now that people have seen you do it?
I'm really not interested at all in covers right now, but I do like, okay, part of my show, like we just played the Rainbow 52nd anniversary 2 nights ago. It was an absolute madhouse. But I was on the show, The Gilmore Girls.
Hep Alien.
Yes. And when I do in my show, in between the song, a few times I've been around that track, and the crowd goes mental and they sing it along with me. And Trailer Park Boys. And when I talk about model trains at my show, people are so into it. But as a musician, the older I get, I'm just not interested in cover versions. I'm interested in making my own stuff because I'm such a vinyl collector. Like, this album is everything I wanted to make, and that's so much fun for me. Like, I've collected records since I was 8 years old. So for my record company to say, "Hey, dude, make your ultimate album," I'm thinking everything, like the liner notes, the packaging, the colors, everything. And like on the CD, there's a 28-page booklet, and I pick different pictures because it's a smaller format than the album, which is larger. Like, I got so into this, man, and I'm just so proud of it.
I love
That's
that.
it.
Yeah. I'll wrap up with this one. I'll only say, as far as vinyl collecting, since you were young, because same thing. My first record, it was given to me by a grandparent, but it was Kenny Rogers, The Gambler. What was your first record?
Oh, my first, I had albums that were given to me as well, but the first one that I ever bought with my own money, I was 8 years old, and I bought a K-Tel record, Convoy, with the song
Right.
Convoy.
I know Convoy.
Breaker, one night, we got ourselves a convoy.
He just passed away last year.
What?
Yeah. He just passed away last year. He was
C.W. McCall.
Yeah, C.W. McCall.
That was the first one I ever bought, man.
Yeah.
And I still love that song. I love it.
Feel like we're really, like that. There's something similar about that in Gambler. They those two talk to each other quite nicely.
Well, you were talking about novelty songs. My dad's favorite song was Disco Duck.
Disco Duck
by Rick Dees. And my grandma loved that song. And quack, 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 disco duck. Like, my dad fucking cranked that shit up.
I would have never said this back then, but I missed those songs. I heard a song today called Nobody Dies from Weed, and I thought, that's about the best, funniest song I've heard.
How about this one? I said, what? I said, doo-doo-woo-wee. I said, all right. I said, love me. When I was a kid and that came on in the car, I was laughing my fucking ass. I said, what? I said, all right.
These might not be novelty songs, but Child Within a Man is such a great album, and I seriously mean
Thank
that.
you.
It's so great to have new music from you again. Sebastian, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it today. It's been a
You know,
pleasure.
it might be a novelty song in 2024 because it's fun, man.
Maybe it is.
Right on, Kyle. Great talking to you.
All right, thanks, man.
Please watch the video of the
I will.
hurricane.
I'm
Thank
headed
you.
there. I really
All
am. And thanks to my guest. Also, thanks to you for checking out the episode in the series. Before you get out of here, hit that subscribe button. Again, you get 3 brand new interviews every single week. New one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at right here on YouTube, or of course anywhere in podcast land, including iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, NPR, or WFPK.org as well. A great way to keep up with your favorite artists and discover new ones as well. Then after that, actually head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media spots, Facebook, Instagram, mostly on Twitter. All 3 of them, the address is at Kyle Meredith. Do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition. I'm Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.